Whether it's St. Patrick's Day or not, I don't want to see any more green food coloring. Please. I'm putting in a knife. Too passionate? Just roll the clip. Alright, so bread pudding kind of goes across a lot of different things. It's not necessarily Irish. Probably the majority of its roots are from England. I don't know. Probably should have researched this before I started talking about it. But we can make it more Irish, and you'll see how we'll do that. There's caramel on it, so.
It's that sweet, salty, sticky stuff.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate the commentary. Anyway, with all that said, let's do this, shall we? We're gonna make the classically boring Irish soda bread, but we got something for it, don't worry. You're gonna start with 2 cups or 300 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 cup or 145 grams of whole wheat flour, 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of kosher salt. Slap that around with a metal rod with a bunch of wires attached to it until thoroughly combined. Now, while mixing with a fork, you're gonna add 1.5 cups or 355 milliliters of buttermilk. Slowly add it, mix it until it comes together and forms a rough dough, kind of like this. You should have used all your buttermilk. Then dump that thick bit out, then lightly knead that just until it turns into a homogeneous piece of dough. Homogeneous. It's me being stupid. Generously dust a baking sheet with flour, shape your dough into a ball and place it on that. Then using a sharp knife, lightly score the top in a tic-tac-toe pattern like this. I scored mine a little too deep and you'll see what that looks like. Then place it in your oven for about 30 to 45 minutes or until it's nice golden brown. And well, this is why you don't score too deep, because keep it like a ½ inch deep or else you're gonna have an opsy. Then just let that cool to room temperature and you can slice and eat it. Big chungus. Right, so soda bread's kind of boring. Good with butter, but so is literally just about anything else. That's exactly why we're gonna make the bread pudding, but I have something very important. You can text me now. My phone. There will be a link and the number in the description. It's 818-452-2640, brother. Zesty Sammy. He says, hey cutie, ew, hey poppy. I like that. What's up, Zesty boy? Boom. Who's next? This is really for you guys. I'm not trying to be like promoty. We'll move on with the video. It's great with some butter or burrata, but that's not really what we're here for. Because this bread is so easy to make, I actually made it for another recipe. Now, for the bread pudding, you're gonna need at least 1.5 loaves of something. Whatever bread, stale bread you got. Obviously, I'm gonna be using the Irish soda bread that we just made, which we'll cut into 1.5 inch cubes. But here's the wild card. I'm also gonna use 3 croissants and half of a loaf of challah. You see where it's going here? Multiple textures. Like I said before, slice all those into 1.5 inch cubes, toss them all together, and then place an 11 by 7 inch baking dish. Oh, by the way, I would recommend greasing that with butter because I didn't and it was a little bit sticky. In a small pot, combine 3/4 of a cup or 160 grams of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon or 3 grams of salt, half a teaspoon or 2 grams of cinnamon, and 2 cups of milk. Then just turn on the heat and begin whisking until everything's nice and, well, dissolved. Then add 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of vanilla extract and a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of a nice whiskey. Irish whiskey, whatever you got. Now, I'd recommend placing this into an ice bath just to chill it down a little faster. You need it to be cold before you add the eggs to it. A 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of heavy cream. Then add some fresh grated nutmeg and 2 beaten whole eggs. Mix again until homogenized. Then pour that egg milk mixture over your bread. Evenly, of course, as best you can. Just a small handful of crushed pistachios. Optionally, add a light drizzle of honey, and you could do any nut. You can also add raisins. You name it. If you want some extra crunchy, you can also add some turbinade sugar on top. And then place it in an oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 35 minutes. Now, while that's cooking, we're gonna make our salted caramel sauce. Add 1 cup or 215 grams of granulated sugar, and then just heat that over medium heat, constantly stirring. And I know it's dry, right? You're like, what the heck's going on? Well, look at this. It's gonna begin to melt and sort of turn this nice sort of amber color. Once everything's melted completely, you're then going to add 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of unsalted butter. It's going to boil vigorously. Just keep stirring and stirring and stirring until it's nice and emulsified. If it breaks, just whisk it together really violently until it comes together. Now just let that simmer for about 10 seconds and then slowly stream in half a cup or 120 milliliters of heavy cream. Just keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. It's going to cool it down and thicken. Do not stop. Keep going until everything's added. And then just let that simmer for another about 20 seconds. And then add 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of kosher salt. So that's your caramel sauce. I'd recommend serving this warm so it's not too thick. The cooler it gets, the thicker it'll be. Make sure to pour this into heat-resistant glass, otherwise it will explode when you pour it into something. By the time you're done with it, you should pull out a beautifully cooked custard with a nice brown top, bread pudding. I like to serve it warm. Go ahead and cut right into it, plop it on a plate, pour your caramel sauce on top, and bing, bang, boom, what do you call that? That's a mother flippin' bread pudding, brother. The sun went down and I'm relying on artificial light, so it's gonna look a little different. Get over it. Okay, so we've got this. We might as well try it. I made a nice little noise, huh? Let's do that again. Whew. Now that is bread pudding. I was gonna do a shepherd's pie recipe, but then Andrew, if you're watching this, you beat me to the punch, didn't ya? In all seriousness, if you're watching. What do you want me to say? That it's bad? You know that's not the case. The top is like crispy. Got that sweet, like caramelized sugar from the. Thank you, please. Guys with lifted trucks, everybody. Guys with lifted trucks. It's good, and you should be making it.
But you wanna know what else has thick, juicy bread pudding vibes? B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made, why does this always happen where I open the cabinet, I'm about to be like, we made, and then I instantly forget what I made? Again, don't forget, you can text me now. Yes, like, actually me. Remember, 818-452-2640. You text me there. Jacob Hess? Yo, what's up, Flicky Salt? Your vids keep me going, dude. And then I didn't reply to it. Oops, I made an opsy. Yo, Jacob, you are on YouTube video right now. How about that? 818-452-2640. But with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.